shit, bro. Holy crap. Alright. Kind of a quick one. Because I want to go to the gym. I got some one-on-ones. But, I shorted. I was on Top Step TV. I was looking for shorts down to London Low here. All right, so I was short right here. And my stop was here. I was targeting this. Ran my stop over, and then it flushed, which is crazy. Then I tried a long here. I think this was valid. I think I was just too quick on that. I should have waited for this candle print. And then I tried it again here when I should have waited for it to come back down here. So two of my longs, a little bit quick on the entry. And then the short, I just got chopped out of. I think my ideas were solid, but yeah. And then last night I had the longs on gold when we dipped back down to this upper VWAP band. And then my trailing got hit on that. I thought we were going to push higher. And then I did take a paper trade. I took this on paper. Which is crazy. I longed the bottom of this. And it was a 40-pointer. Almost. Yeah, nasty paper trade. I've been trading, like this paper trading account, I've been trading on this for a week. I started trading on this on Monday. Just using 10 minis flat. Which is insane. Almost $88,000 of profit. Just trading minis and gold. Only trading gold. Only trading 10 minis. So, once I get back with some size, I can feel it, bro. I can feel the mojo. I can feel the mojo coming back, bro. Yeah, those shorts or longs, I posted it. Commentary, where is it? Last night. We'd like to see retest of 3880s for GC longs. Looks like failed buying at the highs. This ended up pushing out higher. GC at lower VWAP band, see if it holds. This ended up holding. We had a bunch of resting limits at 38.95, 38.99, 38.95. See if we push up to fill those like last night. So it looks like we're holding. Got entry after that dip back down. Looks good to run. So I got this off that VWAP tap. And then I had my stop and profit. Order sitting up there. This still looked good to me. And then my trailing got hit. Back at VWAP and 0.5 IB high broke. I would try it again, but I was on call. And this would have failed. So this I alerted this right here. This would have stopped you out. But yeah. Crazy name for a paper count. Let's randomize, bro. Okay. Anyway, let's go into your guys's. I want to get to the gym before my one-on-ones. And then this, I don't know what the fuck I was doing here. On paper. This one makes sense. This one, I was teaching a class and I was just trying to give an example. This one I think is fine. And then this, at least I'm over trading on paper, Probably just shouldn't be trading that at all. But, hey, the losses are small. Like, even if I look at this on paper, the trading journal, my biggest loss isn't over 3,800 or 3,600. My biggest loss is 3,600, and my biggest winner is 33,000. So I'm over trading with like 2-3 points, which I think is fine. Okay, let me get the chat up. Leg day. Oh, it is leg day. I don't want to do legs. Okay. Anyway. see. Jossie was the last one I reviewed. Long and GC was moving up slowly. After first pop, I started to trail my stop after we took out all-time highs. I trailed Tech to lock and wing day. I'm eligible for payout, but going to wait and just focus on taking it slower and building a bigger buffer. I would say, what's your buffer at, bro? Because you just caught a 12-point trade. It's easy. Just caught a 12-point trade. What's my mindset on trading paper? I feel like I'm just like, it's this, like, it feels like when I was on that My Funded Futures account and I was running it up, me trading paper right now feels the exact same way. It's kind of just like a flow state. Oh, wait, actually, I'm not going to go to the gym because it's going to be fucking crowded. Okay, Milo, 0.5. Also came back into fair value gap. TP was -0.1 on high time frame fib. Move stops up to under 5 minutes. Bearish candle. Trailing got hit. Also, my chart is messed up. IDKY. I also switched to micro since this is a new 50K. Your stop should be tighter on this. You're like, when we're pushing up here, right? Your stop should be like here. You want to secure more profit than 3 points off that. You're up 1,000, secure at least half of it. Okay, so make it 500. I know you're using points, so it's kind of hard to tell. But this is a good trade model. It's just your stop adjustment. Like, whenever I see your trades, it's just a stop adjustment. It's just your stop adjustments. Either, like, your stop adjustment yesterday, you were in a trade for a while, and you were up like 30 points on it. And there were multiple pivot points you could have adjusted to. So, yeah, just work on the management here. This, like, you should have captured at least 500 off this. Combine 4 and 5 Golden Asia. First time trading Asia. Took a 1.2 RR, 1.25 RR. After reacting to 618 in lower band. Go target previous Asia high and had a tighter stop loss. Okay. Yeah, once this structure starts to form, I just bring it up here. Once it pushes away from there. And then as this moves up, I would, when I see this wick print and it's right near my TP, I'm going to expand the TP out a little bit. I gave those levels last night, the 3905. I would have expanded it out to that 3905 and then put my stop on the wick. As it makes each new 5-minute candle, just drag it up off each new 5. Because if you do that, even when this comes down and stops you out, it's a little bit past your TP. Okay. Yeah, you can start to play with that, I think. I would probably get out of drawdown first. Scalp with the momentum, off open, 2 long wins, 2 minis, each about 8-point stops, scaled 1 out at first and trailed, then re-entered on wick at VWAP and previous buyer defending for 2R. Trailed stop higher with partials on second trade, 300 risk, first trade, then 260 on the next. First was 382, POC, move at end of New York, 1,253 locked. Okay. So we're using a little bit bigger size done. I think that's fine, as long as your stops are tight, which it looks like they are. So you're just catching some quick scalps. It's kind of hard for me to give advice. Like, okay, you're out of drawdown on one of the combines, and the other is in 4. Okay, solid. The one that's out of drawdown. Okay, first I would get the one that's in drawdown. You were up 1,500 and then you went down? If you're at 1,500, why are we losing? Oh, you were at 1,501. Okay, gotcha. If you're at 1,500 on the day, I thought you were talking about like you were at 1,500 on the day and then you lost money off it. It's like that doesn't make any sense. But I think you're saying you're up 1,500 earlier and then you lost it. Lost the 15. Okay. I was up 1,500 on my command. Okay. Yeah. That will happen. But yeah, I would get the other one out of drawdown. Just trade it by itself. Get it out of drawdown. And then if you want to copy trade them, I think it's okay. And then size up a little bit. What size are you using? depends on stop loss. Okay. Risking around 300. I'd say 10 micros is appropriate. You can find trades. You can find 2.5 point, 3 point risk trades on GC if you can find those. It's a little it's a little tricky to find them. I think you can find one every single day, but if you can find one of those and you're comfortable using 10 micros, then yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to give any advice on these quick scalps because it's just such quick in and out. You know, we're entering right at market open, so a little sketchy. That's a little sketchy. I've done it. I know it's a little sketchy, but you partialed properly, and then I like where you brought your trailing stop, entry 2, exit up there. I think that's clean. The bigger move was to the downside. So if you took the fib from here to here on NASDAQ, I think it makes more sense to look for the shorts. But good trade. Nonetheless, your stats are looking nice. 66% win rate, 2.26. Looks like you're getting ready for another payout. I don't know how many winning days you have, but looks solid. Dumb trade alert. Combine, MGC. -1R, upper band, value area high, Asia IB, upper VWAP band. Entered quickly after seeing Doji on 5 minute, expected to run to new highs. Forgot about gold reversal at all-time highs. Don't jump the gun. Wait for retest and confirm. Yeah. I would have waited to take this in this consolidation area. That's where I alerted it. When it's coming down to that upper band, you need to see it pop out pretty quick. You got in right before that doji even printed. So, yeah. Just be cautionary of that. And then it had that down leg. Wait for retests and confirmations. Yeah, if you prefer to trade retests, then just wait for the retests. This is a little bit of a riskier trade. I don't mind it entirely, but like that upper VWAP band, right, we were trending above it, and then quickly the trend fails. Also, I don't think the VWAP bands are correct on Top Step X. Like if I'm looking, we ride that band, we fail, we come down to VWAP. Okay. This is where, you know, I was looking for the longs. You motherfuckers. You keep distracting me with these fucking sneezing photos. This would have failed, but I would have taken the trade again. I would take this trade every time in this area. So I think we just jumped the gun a little bit early. I don't really think there's... I think this is just like a little bit early. Nothing too crazy. What's your stop loss on this? Kind of a wider stop too, 6 points. And your fib. Yeah, this fib, I'm not sure if we have, like on this fib here. I don't know if this is going to be a good fib yet because we haven't gotten down there yet. I was personally using this fib last night. I was using this one. And then we react off the 618 and the 786. So I think your fib pivot point, if you're looking at, you know, finding more accurate fibs, use a pivot point that has previously like reacted off a fib level. Because if I'm looking at this one, there's multiple reactions here. There's this initial reaction. This is a shorter time frame fib, so okay, that one works. Going forward, we react at 382/0.5 in that region. Then when we go forward, okay, 618, 786. Okay, this pivot point never gets invalidated. And then going forward, even if we're looking at today during New York session, comes down to that 618, starts to bounce out of it, and then rejects after it tries to get above VWAP. But yeah, I think this pivot point, you know, with this at range, I don't think it's valid anymore. and I think we see some downside on GC. If I profit, okay. ES shorts from last night. Where's the stop? Okay, now your stop's in profit. Cool. I think that's a nice trade. No explanation on it, so kind of hard to tell. But lower, oh, okay, lower area, lower high with area of interest as support. TP was 50% of the zone. Kept it simple. Size was easy to manage. Okay, good stuff. Let's see the entry. Yeah, so if you enter here, I'd have my stop like up here, off this 15-minute. But then once this starts to move lower, you can just bring that down into this wick, and then as it continues lower, I would put that to break even because your entry is pretty solid. And then once this starts to print this bearish leg, bring it to here, and then down here, just bring it there. Took a while to play out, but you held it. Good trade, bro. I was thinking about taking this, but I didn't because now I'm going to wait for IB break. I'm happy because I'm developing the mindset of not worrying about the results I've gotten. I didn't FOMO. I'll wait for confirmation after 7 a.m. for that orb double break. Okay, this was on London. All right. So this bounces out. This holds this lower VWAP band, gets above VWAP, comes up to that upper VWAP band, and it does that retest of that upper VWAP band. I think this is fine to take. When this looks that bullish, you can enter it on this candle. You can enter it on that. I'd probably enter it on this first candle. And it looks like, you know, this 3,900 level is the big level. And yeah. Trying orb double break, upper band broke, London VWAP, didn't see any buying reaction, didn't feel good with stop loss, but otherwise was too wide. Third pick, move stop loss closer with VWAP, EMA and upper band. Stop loss seems like value very high is holding. Okay. How did this play out? Did you get stopped on this? I don't think so. No, your stop loss is fine. Especially with the size. Okay, 913. Oh, bro, you probably got wicked out on that. Yeah. Damn. If you know that there's news, you need to have a wider stop anyway. Like if you're holding a trade through news, you need to have a wider stop. But I like the trade idea. I think it's a good trade. I would take it again. Just when we're trading with this smaller size, you know, the entry is a little bit low. But I like the idea on it. If I'm looking at this, you can get in on the break here, or when you see buyers stalling out up here, when this doesn't push the highs like this, I would try to get in on this consolidation, set my stops at the high, and just go for that double break because the stat's so high. I think it's a 77% stat, so I like the trade, bro. It sucks you got stopped, but on short, when I saw break structure to downside, I try for a double break intraday. It was looking good till news. Okay, same thing. Yeah, I wouldn't have adjusted this stop down. Just because of if I know there's news coming out, I wouldn't adjust the stop down. Same idea. I like the trade. I think you have a good entry on this Quebec. Yeah, you're risking 180 for 1,100. I'm just gonna leave that stop. It's 180 bucks. If this hits, it's a 10 to 1. Almost. It's a good trade. It's a great trade. I just wouldn't mess with this when I know there's news coming out. Long from VWAP, thought I saw a strong enough reaction, expecting buyers to step in since we're at all-time highs, but that didn't happen. I got stopped out. Okay, yeah, I was looking for shorts in here because of the London double rig. Oh wait, this was early AM. Was it not? Oh no, this is on 1 hour. Yeah, this here, we just, like, when I'm seeing this is rejecting VWAP up here, and then we push above and we, like, immediately reject. Like, this didn't look like strong buyers to me. That's why I was shorting. So I think that's just a misread. Here, clutch. Like, we want to check how long we're above VWAP. Also, like, the VWAP on Top Step X is wrong, so I'd be using the Trading View one. You have it. Yeah, I think this is just a misread. But, I mean, your risk management's fine on this. Flip to shorts after failed VWAP bounce. Failed bounce at VWAP, 0.1 from TP, and it bounced. Oof. Okay. It's harder to tell on the 30 minutes. Okay. Literally ever taken on GC since I've started bounces right at my TP. I don't know what's going on. Well, I might stop trading it. Okay. I would need to see, when you're sending these screenshots, even if they're on the phone, if you could use the 5-minute chart, that would help. But yeah, I would. Okay, so you got in at 38.98. 38.98 from on the 30-minute. Yeah, this doesn't. If I'm taking this here, this doesn't look like it's going to bounce from VWAP. Also, I want to lean towards short for the London double break. So we shorted this 38.98. I'm assuming off this rejection candle. I'm assuming we shorted this. We got in off this rejection candle. Our TP was off by like a couple ticks. I would front run this lower VWAP band because it taps that lower VWAP band and it bounces. So, yeah. Wish I could put into words why I shorted. Just had bias pre-market after pumping higher, and just looked for buyer exhaustion. Price moved too quickly, so I trailed stop super tight. 2 break even, 1 win. Plus some wins during Asia Gold. Just switch your colors and you will become profitable. Yeah, no, I was leaning towards shorts on NQ. You bottom ticked the long, but you didn't hold it. And then you caught the short at the highs. Down to the lows. Clean. You got fucking 21 bands, bro. Crazy. I would adjust the TP off each strong. Like if I'm scalping this, do it off the strong 1 minutes, bro. If you're looking at the 1 minute, you know, you're scalping it really quick. This looks so strong. I'm adjusting it very quickly. Stops. Trying to short here. Big seller holding this price. TP hit fast. Okay. KPEC. That was right at the dump. I'm assuming you could expand this TP down to that London low because it's still within that time frame. I still think it's a good target to look for. Yeah, there's just exhaustion up here. There's exhaustion up here. You have this big push up, run out of buyers, come back up, run out of buyers, come back up, run out of buyers. I think it's a good trade. Short win, 0.5 fib. Low volume node saw CVD rising, but price starting to stall. Big buying, but no continuation. Was hesitant to take the trade against IB, but ended up working. Targeted true day. Lower view up band, but took it off because unexpected volatility. Made 161, risking 84. I'm all. I'm happy. Also, if we chop below VWAP, then I can take the fake push above VWAP. Yep, you can take that. You can use that. I think this is a nice trade. I just wish you held it for that London low, Adrian. Because we can fully take risk off here. You've got a great entry on this. I know this is with 2 micros. But if I take this same trade, I'm in at 905. If I'm in at 905. Here. This is even going to be worse than your entry. Let's say I'm using 2 minis. Give myself a $500 stop. I'm targeting this London low. That's insane. 15 points on GC is fucking insane, bro. 6-to-1 RR too. And when this candle comes out, it hits the TP pretty much instantly. So like I would have just stopped as that candle's printing, but like that shit smacked. Also, if price does this crazy drop, should I expect it to go down more? I would just cover risk on that. Where you see this start to drop, go on the 1 minute time frame. Use the 1 minute. I don't really tell people to use the 1 minute, but when you see that crazy volatility or crazy pump, I think using it is valid there. Even like the 30-second, because if I adjust here, I think that's proper. Then this starts to come out even deeper. I'm adjusting it here, right? Making sure I secure some profit. You can use those lower time frames for adjusting your stops when that volatility spikes. I just don't think most people should be looking at the 1 minute all the time. I think those lower time frames, they can be useful when that volatility comes out, but I just see a lot of people using it to try to form biases and trade off of it, and I don't think it's the best. Top take. It's a great short, bro. I wish you held it for the London low, but yeah, you got 10 points out of this. If you use 1 mini on this, right, you risk 250 on 1 mini. You still get $1,000. So it's the same trade. It's just a different amount of size. Call mine 4-5 up. Try the same idea twice. Trump spoke and price smashed through my stop loss. Yeah, I was still leaning shorts on this. This was Chop City this morning. It was tough. This first one, I understand why you took it. There are confluences there. Lower band, value area low. All of that. I just wanted to see that London low sweep before we started to pick up, back up. This second one, we're trying to take advantage of the volatility. I did the same thing, and I got stopped. Just when you take a trade like this, you have to understand like it's much riskier with that volatility, but it can result in great trades. It's just really risky taking it there. I don't have a problem with either of these. This one, I think it's just, we're trying to capitalize on the volatility. I think it's fine. I mean, I did it personally. I just entered too early. This other one, I understand this because of the confluences. When this does this push, right, is that if this is pushing out of consolidation and it's really going to push out of it, bring your stop up to where that leg starts. Because if you go and you look at, okay, when we push out of consolidation, do we flush like this typically? Not really. Usually it pushes out of the consolidation, then it will base out and push higher, or it will just push really strongly. Okay, one done. NQ short, 2.35 RR plus 546. Entry was 24,812. I adjusted the position tool like halfway through the video. Timestamps to show stop loss adjustment. Okay, zoomed in picture book map shows low volume node created off the open. Zoomed out picture, price stalling, fail buying. Okay. Previous day ranged at neutral, true day open, pretty close to opening price. We'll see if it holds relevance. NQ swept previous day low in London. Couple low value area low of the week. Reached the support zone. After doing all this, looks like price has been recovering. Price inverted 1 hour bearish FVG from London, created a 15-minute low volume node. Now it looks like we're sustaining above current week's value area low. We have PMI at 10 a.m., so I could just wait for that. Off open, we swept 15 internal liquidity, displaced higher, forming low volume node 3-minute plus 5-minute FVG. Could see longs if we retraced into it. However, since price reached some bearish confluences, I was open to playing retrace, aiming for price to rebalance the low volume node and simply trail aggressively. This ended up being my trade idea. Okay. So I like how you formed this. And then you're like, okay, this is what I'm like. You've laid it out. This is my trade. This is the trade I'm taking. Location: reached 1 hour FEG. Low volume node in 15 minutes. Swept Asia high. Retested upper band. VWAP value area high. Failed to break and sustain above both of these. Okay, solid. I think this is also part of your context, right? This isn't just location, but that can also be a part of your context. Confirmation and price selling out Asia high plus failed buying. Significant divergence in CVD, but price still in the same area. Okay. Entered once I noticed this. First adjustment was off, seen failed buying, failed selling, stepping in, trailed to 2 points in profit once low volume node got hit. Finally trailed to 3-minute candle when it was getting past low volume node, TP hit. Pretty solid, maybe could have been quicker with stop loss adjustment. Managed to have flexible bias and define clear idea before taking it. Risk was 236 instead of the usual 200. That's fine. $36 over, it's not going to kill you. Should have used 3 micros instead of 4. You can use 4. It's fine. It's just like, if you're using that risk management chart that I show all the time, and you're basing it off that, is $36 going to affect it that much? Not really. So it's more so like general approximation. Okay, so it pushed up near that 15-minute low volume node, FEG. Let me speed through this a little bit. Okay. Be patient on the entry. Is this just your trading view? I'm assuming you entered this already, or maybe you're waiting. Okay, I'm assuming you entered. And then we'll look at the screenshots. No, I think this is a good trade, bro. I think you laid this out perfectly, too. Like, the way that you format it all, like, this is what you want your ideal trade to look like. You've laid everything out pretty much perfect. Okay. Yeah, massive low volume node in there. Massive volume channel. Yeah. Large buying up at the highs. Then you have exhausted buying. So if you see this absorption, and then when it comes back up to that level, there's exhaustion there. That can also be a good indicator. Okay, we're going to reverse. And then it comes back up to that level. You have heavier buying than this previous push, and it fails. So you could get in off this retest in here. And you do have that CVD divergence. That's properly identified. So you have your high on your CVD up here, lower high. So proper identification of all that. Shorted at 812. Yeah, perfect entry. If you entered right here, perfect. Perfect. Don't really have too many comments on that because this is perfectly laid out. I think it's a great trade. Took MNQ long from 618, absorb selling and buyer step in, and it ran to TP. Okay, so a little bounce back from your 2 losses earlier. This is just continuation off. This just looks like continuation off of like, if in this base, I'm fine with you taking this trade in this base with just your stop slightly below. I'd probably put it below that lower band. For entry, I want to get in as close to these lows as I can. So here is fine. You could let this trade run a little bit further, right? I know you're using static TPs, static stop losses right now, Clutch. But if you want to start saying, okay, I'm gonna expand my TPs a little bit, see if we can squeeze a little more profit out of this. I think that's fine, because there's no reason to close this. There's no stall out. It looks like it just wants to keep ripping. GC's in a little consolidation right now, but I think this is a fine trade to take. Where's your stop? Yeah, your stop's below the base. I'm fine with that. I'd just say potentially expand your TP a little bit. 15 seconds scalping. If you can work it, great. But I'm personally not going to do it. I prefer to hold trades. I like holding trades a long time. Wanted to short GC2 London low, but wasn't sure where to take the entry at. I tried this short in practice account after seeing rejection at 618 level. I wanted to take this in my combine, but the 618 reaction was from a news candle. Ooh. I'd say if you took this in a practice account, you wanted to take it in a combine. I think this is a valid trade to take. Your TP also isn't at London low. Since your TP is quite far, and if you're risking the London highs, I think that's fine to risk it. Just use smaller size. 2 micros, 3 micros, 4 micros, 5 micros even. Because if I get in at, this is the same idea that back end someone else had. If I get in up here, right, it pushes this upper band and then it rejects immediately. If I get in up here, let's say I get in when this rejection candle's forming, even if I'm risking 7 points on 5 micros, that's what, 350 bucks? I'm gonna risk 350 to make almost 1,500. I'm fine with that. Yeah, Connell. I am. I've just been getting busy again. So it's in the plan. Eric also went on vacation. I was gonna have him script it, and he went on vacation. So I was like, oh fuck, I fucked this up. It will get made. Yeah. And I want the YouTube videos to kind of be a little bit more scripted than just me freestyling. GC long, lost X twice. Tried going long twice at value area of the consolidation that we had. We are also at 382 fib, above lower VWAP band. We are above value area high on higher time frame volume profile. This first trade was kind of retarded. TBH. I tried longing after that high volatility candle that we had. I'm fine with the second loss because we already bounced a few times from value area low with the consolidation that we had there. Okay. Yeah, this first one, I mean, I tried this first one as well. I got stopped on it. I just knew it was riskier. Here, this second one, I tried this as well. My note on that for myself was I should have been more patient. Should have been more patient on it. Let it come below that lower band and then do its retest. And then it wicked it and then continues up. So, yeah, I get the reasoning for the trade. If I'm looking at this as my volume profile, when this big news candle comes out, I should wait a second. If I'm trying to trade this off this value area low, I would want to get in off this consolidation basis. So like once this big news candle comes out, it kind of invalidates this previous area. You need more price action to print so that you can see what's going on. But yeah, if I'm using this value area low as my location, bounces off it twice. We didn't take either of these. And then you get that big news candle. It's going to change the way your value area low is going to look. But yeah. I was thinking to take that short after news, but you say wait 5 news, or it's only 7 news. GC 7:15. I'd say in general, it's like wait 5 minutes, see what price action does. This news comes out, you pop up, and then you dump. I mean, you can take this off continuation. Once this third candle prints, you can try it off continuation. I think it's fine. If you want to trade news, go for it. I'll trade news. I'll trade through news. I'll hold trades through news. I don't mind it. It's more so trading through news for beginner traders it can be sketchy. So if you're comfortable trading right after a news release, 30 seconds after a news release, go for it. No, I'm stupid again. Not trading news. Yeah, then not trade news. Trading is personality based. So if you want to trade news, go and trade news. If you want to wait for news, wait for news. I typically tell people wait for it because the volatility is so high that you're more likely to make a mistake in there. Trading is gambling with extra layers, though. Yeah, it is. I think trading is gambling. Yeah, you're trying to make money off probabilities. Long GC on Combine. Bullish bias through the push before. Push above or push below upper band, area of low volume, near 0.5 fib, VWAP, lots of selling in the moment, but we pushed up from it. I know we touched it on it in the lesson, but I thought this was a good setup. I didn't participate this flush. I know I had this volume profile from reopen, and we were above POC. Good, left out right after. Bad idea was wrong volume profile. Where's the long end? Also, I don't like how this overlaps on the... I don't know, that's just me personally. But trying to read that, it's a little tricky. Okay. Yeah, your entry's not bad. Your entry's not bad on this Ziki. I think this is a good entry. This is the volume profile we're looking at. Is this your... This is right at VWAP. It's on the 3 minute. This is why I stick to the 5 minute, because this looks like this like if I'm on the 3 minute, this looks like a reaction to me. If I'm on the 5 minute, not the same case. I don't think this is necessarily a bad idea, but when we consider the London double break stat, I want to lean towards shorts on this. And this is pretty strong rejection too. Yeah, that's why I prefer the 5 minute, dude. Because I used to trade the 3 minute, and yeah, you get some fake reactions sometimes. Like this would have tripped me up too. I would probably take this. So I think you got a good entry on it. I think if you're on the 3 minute, this looks valid. That's why I'm sticking to the 5 minute. I don't really deviate from the 5 minute anymore. I stick on the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and the 1 minute if the volatility is high and I need to adjust the stop. I mean, skip back and looked at it because I thought it was retarded. No, I don't think this isn't like this would. I'd probably take this too. I'd probably try it if I was on a 3 minute. But yeah, I mean, this rejection is just so strong. I would probably wait for this to come lower. When you see this strong of a rejection, you should be thinking at VWAP, okay, what's happening? Is it like when this comes down to VWAP, it does look like it bounced on the 3 minute. It looks like it tried to hold this 3 minute and then just continued lower down to that lower band, and then this is where I'd like to at least like consider longs in here. When it comes down to this lower band, it gets close to it. This is a much stronger bounce. Then it comes back down to it, pretty much the same low, dips just below that low. I could try this here for a short scalp, but I want to lean towards the short side because of that London statistic. That London statistic, it's too accurate. I've seen it too many times in the past 2 weeks that I've been trading it, and from back testing, where I do not want to fade it. There are going to be some days it doesn't work. I just don't want to fade it personally. The stat, Yeah, it's in that Myra board. Because that's the one I referenced in the premium. GM everyone would expect gold to sell off to London lows for the double break stat. I know you're in Germany, so you're up a little bit earlier. Like you're watching this. You're probably watching this before I even alerted that. Because of what I sent that at 8:41. I woke up a little bit late, so I missed my entry. If I was up on time, I would have shorted this, up in this region, or I would have tried it here, down to that London low. But yeah, I understand why you took the trade, Zeke. I don't think it's retarded. Okay. Demo went on gold while we did lesson. Framing saw price dropping at POC and failing to push overnight view up with all those wicks. Good bias, didn't have too much risk on it. Entry management, bad entry, could have been a bit higher. Did you take this once this started selling? Out of the consolidation? No, you got it in at the consolidation. Yeah, when it does this push up, this is the same. It's the same situation as the trade Alize took, right? It was consolidating. This starts to look like it's going to push out of the consolidation, and then it reverses. Exact same setup as that one Alize took. If I take this long, right? Let's say I long this instead. I need to adjust my stop up to the bottom of this base because this is either going to push really hard out of the consolidation or it's going to flush. No, London orb wasn't broken during London session. We're using double breaks. I'm looking at it in terms of double breaks. The high was broken, but the low wasn't. I only want to take it on double breaks when there's not a double break. Took this trade at the start of Asia session. Want to see a pullback into bullish continuation from New York. Waited for price to come to value area low and previous upper view up band from New York. Also lined up with 618 fib. Caught the bottom of Asia. Sadly ended up getting stopped out on a pullback because I set stop loss to 300 profit. So just wait for bullish confirmation again to re-enter and pass my combine. Takeaway from this one is to trash my initial stop and let it play out because I had a perfect spot shown in picture. Okay. Let's see this. Okay, so this is right at open. You got in off the 618 tap. I'm assuming you got in off this, Kyle. I think this is a good trade. If you want to see this run, right, you're fine holding this for a while, then yeah, I don't think you need to really adjust your stop too much besides like this low. But if I'm being more conservative, what I would personally do, and if you don't want to do this, that's fine. I might trade differently from you. So, you might not adjust your stops the same as mine. That's cool. You don't have to be the same exact trader as me. But I would have adjusted my stop to at least this wick here. And then when this base is out, I would have adjusted to the base. Once this starts to push up, I would adjust it to the bottom of here. And then when this is stalling out, I would have probably adjusted it to the bottom of this strong 5 minute. And I would have gotten stopped on it. It had a double break during London session. No, it didn't. We're using the 3 a.m. as the open for London. That's where I start measuring it. So, yeah, if you're looking at 2 a.m., then yeah, it does do a double break. But I'm using 3 a.m. Good trade, Kyle. Good job passing the combine. Good trade. Yeah, the stop adjustment. Yeah, this is where I would have adjusted the stop. If you would have left that, I think that runs through TP, right? You can also, adjust it higher, and then the next trade you take, it just doesn't need to run for as much. Yeah, 3 a.m. Eastern. Found out that the T over minutes time frame. Okay, the tick chart works better for my strat. I've been taking a break from trading to get my strat better, and only have been paper trading before trading on my funded. I give people I don't. Yeah, some people prefer the tick chart. If you want to use the tick chart, then it's cool. I personally don't use them, but I know other people who use them. 1,000 tick chart, 100 tick chart. But yeah, if you're finding success with a tick chart, use the tick chart. You enter down here, off trend line break. Clean, very clean. I just adjust the stop up to this pivot point, right where it looks like it's holding. Your Bermuda Triangle of Doom, right? It's right in there. Yeah, I think this is fine. This is a different way of trading. But yeah, if you prefer a tick chart, use a tick chart. I would, when this has a decent move away from your entry, just adjust your stop to break even on this. That's what I would personally do, especially when it's that close to your TP. Oh wait, your TP is pretty far away. You exited up here when this started to break down from that trend line. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to trade it that way, but if it's working for you, keep doing it. Do what works. Lower high, area of interest is support. TP was at 50% of the zone. Keep it simple. Size was easy to manage. Okay, yeah. This was the same one as above. I think you joined late, so you didn't see me review that. I'd like you to have a stop on this. I think this is... It took a while to play out, but I think it's fine. Your entry's solid. I would have my stop above that 15 minute, but like that's... If you're in with one... If you're in with one, I don't think that's that bad. It's what it's under a 10-point stop. It's like a 7-point stop. I just have it on that 15-minute high, and then as this starts to move away, I just adjust it to here, and then once you get this strong print, adjust it to here. Once this prints here, adjust it to here. Then as this just continues to grind down, adjust it to here, and then I'd get even tighter with it as it gets lower. But I think it's a clean trade. Why I'm long, bias was bullish overall to fill a higher time frame range. Big initial push up of open, retrace to 618 and DW up. TP was previous day high. Okay, on YM. This looks clean. Yeah, this is the fib reaction we want to see. So the entry might be a little bit early. This is on 1 minute. Okay, it's on the 1 minute, so. 605. I think you pretty much bottom tick that. So, yeah. Good trade. I think this might be best trade. You know what, Jose? I think you also have a good trade. I think in terms of like how clean this looks. Oh wait, I tagged him. You know I can get multiple trades of the day out, right, bro? Because this was perfect. I did say this was perfect. Okay, we'll see you guys later. One thing left. Gym. Yeah, I know I need to go to the gym. I'm gonna do it tonight. Okay. I'll see you guys later.